Welcome, my friends, to Who Wants to Be an Accessibility Champion from Perkins Access. I'm your host, Katie Martell, and I am so excited to be here today. We're looking at how to make all digital experiences more usable by people with disabilities. Our special guests today are going to compete in 3 rounds designed to feature some key accessibility concepts, and I encourage you to play along at home. Let's start and meet our contestants. Alexa Heinrich is a digital accessibility advocate, and you can find her on Twitter at #HeyAlexa. Hey, Alex, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here, Katie.
Chris Brogan, author, speaker, and chief of staff at appfired.com, on Twitter at Chris Brogan. Hi, Chris. Welcome to the show.
Katie, can't wait to participate.
Our next contestant is Trish Fontanilla, customer experience and community expert, and the co-founder of Boss Filipinos, on Twitter at Trish of the Trade. Hi, Trish. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Before we get into the first round, let's hear from an expert at Perkins Access about what alt text is.
I'm Jennifer Segalin, Director of Strategic Partnerships for Perkins Access. Images are used across all kinds of websites and on social media platforms. But for people who are blind or visually impaired and use assistive technology like screen readers, images need alt text. Alt text is a description of the image that objectively conveys its context and meaning.
What's that alt text? All right, Alex, are you ready for round 1?
Yes.
I'm going to read you some automatically generated alt text that was created from Facebook. Now, we uploaded some photos, and I'm going to read to you what Facebook described those photos to be with their AI capabilities. So here is the first AI-generated alt text. Maybe an image of 4 people, people standing, and outdoors. What do you think that image would be?
4 people at the beach.
Getting their suntan on. Love it. Let's find out what the image actually is. Oh, it's that meme of that guy looking behind his shoulder at that girl with his girlfriend, of course, looking sad. I mean, the alt text, it tried. It tried. It did get people right, and it did get outdoors right, but that's really all it got right.
It can't count, apparently.
Let's look at what Perkins Access recommends as appropriate alt text for this photo. A man walks with a woman. He turns to look at another woman, his eyes narrowed and his lips pursed as if whistling. The woman he is walking with looks at him with wide eyes and an open frown. A little more descriptive, wouldn't you say?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, Chris, your first AI-generated alt text is maybe an image of 3 people. What do you think this is an image of?
I mean, it could be, think about broccoli for a second. Like, it could look like arms. It could be a bunch of really excited broccoli on a plate. But I'm going to hope that if the AI is correct, it's an image of 3 people.
It is, of course, a picture of One Direction. Chris, let's line this up against the AI-generated alt text. Maybe an image of 3 people. Technically not wrong, but also not very right.
Right. I mean, it makes you a little sad for the future of AI. I mean, we're not going to be attacked by Skynet anytime soon. If they can't even count all of the directions.
This is what good alt text would look like from the team at Perkins Access for this photo. One Direction, minus Zayn Malik, gather together before a backdrop of large palm leaves. They are smiling, their arms draped around one another. A little more descriptive, a little easier to see what's going on.
You know, that was the first thought I had when I read the AI alt text. I was like, there's no sentiment given. So are the 3 people happy? Are they unhappy? I mean, that's part of what would filter into it, right?
Right. Are they broccoli? Who knows?
The 5 faces of the members of One Direction are superimposed over a head of broccoli with human arms.
Okay, the automatically generated alt text was maybe an image of 1 person and beard. Who is it, Chris?
God, I really hope the beard's connected to the 1 person. It'd be a little odd, like, Santa holding a beard. Who is it? Maybe I have a beard. Could it be me?
It is an image of a person, and they do in fact have a beard.
Oh,
I can't say this is too wrong.
Yeah, again, it doesn't point to the sentiment, and because we haven't read back what the better alt text would be, anybody listening to this or with a visual impairment still doesn't know what I'm looking at. But I'm looking at the don't want it part of the Drake meme.
Isn't that hilarious? The good alt text, again from our friends at Perkins Access, is very descriptive. Drake, wearing a bright orange puffy jacket, tilts his head forward, he looks down, his right arm positioned across his chest, and his hands held up in a stop position that covers his face. All right, Trish, your first set of AI-generated alt text is this. Maybe an image of one person. What do you think this image is?
I feel like it's one of those icons that has like, that look like bubbles and there's like 3. So it could be one person, but could also represent a group of people.
And it's Oprah.
AI. Don't you know who Oprah is?
Honestly. Right? I'm showing on screen now this image against the alt text that AI automatically generated. It's not wrong. It is one person.
Feeling through like only so many people can do all the things that Oprah can do in a day. And they're like, is this one person or is this an entourage of people?
Oprah is a multifaceted being and beyond human. But let's look at what good alt text would actually look like for this image from the team and the experts at Perkins Access. You can see it's far more descriptive. Oprah holds a loosely clenched fist to her chin and stares straight ahead with her eyes narrowed. She wears round glasses and a V-neck lilac sweater over a white button-down shirt. A little clearer to understand. Are you ready for your next alt text challenge?
We'll see what happens.
Here we go. Maybe an image of one person and beard. What do you think this is, Trish?
No, in general, no, that is not helpful at all. Is it like a cooking show? Oh my gosh, who has beard? Someone from like, there was like a food YouTube series.
Let's find out what this image actually was. And it's sad Keanu Reeves.
Aww, sad Keanu.
I mean, again, the alt text wasn't entirely wrong. One image of a person and there's a beard, but honestly, extremely unhelpful.
But like, you could write, I think everyone has a short poem they could write about this. Like, take time to write alt text, people.
The team at Perkins Access recommends something like this. Keanu Reeves sits on a park bench next to 2 open bags of takeout. He tilts his head down slightly and looks at the ground in his left hand. He holds a partially eaten Twinkie.
He sits on a bench with 2 open bags by himself.
And now let's hear some tips on how to write good alt text from the experts at Perkins Access.
Use alt text to convey the meaning of an image. Put the most important details first. Keep the description short and concise, and don't include words like photo, icon, or image.
Okay, round 2 is scrambled captions. Before we get started, let's hear from an expert at Perkins Access on what captions are and why they're helpful.
Captions are a synchronized text version of narration or dialogue and include non-speech information like sound effects, lyrics, or off-screen sounds. They're intended primarily for viewers who are deaf or hard of hearing, but they benefit everyone. Some video production tools, like YouTube's auto caption engine, use speech recognition to automatically generate captions. Auto captions are a step in the workflow. They should never be considered the final product. Always verify spelling, grammar, and timing accuracy. Captions can also be created using DIY tools or by hiring a caption vendor.
Round 2 is scrambled captions. Okay, Alexa, your first movie still is Olaf from Frozen, and the AI-generated caption reads, "Ice Pilates for one, ice Pilates for one." What is the correct caption?
Oh, ice princesses for one, ice princesses for one. I'm trying to remember the movie line.
The correct caption is Ice Palace for one, ice Palace for one. Although ice Pilates do sound like a very fun exercise. Our next caption that I'd like you to unscramble. Get out there so much you got, don't embarrass me. Of course, from A League of Our Own. What do you think the real caption is for this photo?
Get out there and give it your all. Don't embarrass me.
Ooh, very close, my friend. Get out there, show them what you got, and don't embarrass me. Well done. Well done. I got a million points your way. Okay, Chris, your first movie's on screen with the captions. Quote, "Mental, that one's good, Helena."
So I don't know. This is from what, Harry Potter in the first one there, the Sorcerer's Stone?
Sorcerer's Stone, it is.
I don't really know what they were going for in that one, but I would offer that maybe they just really like Helena Bonham Carter.
Which we cannot blame them for. Let me show you the right caption is actually "Mental, that one, I'm telling ya." Trish, your first example is on screen. It's from Casablanca, 1942. The caption reads, "He's looking at you, kid." Trish, what is the caption supposed to be?
Oh, it's "Here's looking at you, kid."
Iconic line, like the most iconic
on,
line of the whole movie. It's time to play Guess That Stat. Alexa, here is your first stat. According to the CDC, how many adults in the US have a disability? 36 million, 49 million, or 61 million?
49 million.
No, my friend, it is actually 61 million adults in the US with a disability. Reminding us all again that 1 in 4 US adults indeed have a disability and deserve our attention when it comes to digital accessibility. Isn't that an amazing stat? What percent of people prefer brands that value inclusion? 39%, 45%, or 52%?
I'm going to stick with the middle and say 45%. Final answer.
Lock it in, Alex. Unfortunately, the answer is 52%. Of course, according to Forrester blog, The Power of a Value-Based Strategy from June of 2017, 52% of consumers prefer brands that value inclusion. And what can be more inclusive than addressing the needs of audiences with disabilities? Am I right?
Yes, you are. And I'm happy to get that answer wrong.
Okay, Chris, here in round 3, your job is to guess the correct stat. It is that easy. Are you ready?
Let's go.
What is the total disposable income of people with disabilities worldwide? Is it $44 billion, $110 billion, or 1.9 with the T trillion dollars?
I was going to say Josh Gad, so I'm a little off. Let me just sort of readjust. I'm going to go with 110 billion because it's the middle answer. There's no wisdom beyond that. I have a feeling you're going to say 1.9 trillion because that's, it's going to be the better answer.
It's not only the better answer, it is the right answer. $1.9 trillion, the total disposable income of people with disabilities worldwide, according to Return on Disability. This is a segment that is ready to spend money, my friends.
Wow.
What percent of adults over the age of 65 have a disability? Is it 15%? Is it 40%? Or is it, my friend, 65%?
It's not 1.9 trillion. It is, what percentage of adults over 65 have a disability? I feel like that's a perfect time to roll out the 40.
Cue the lights and the sound. You are correct, Chris. It is 40%. According to the CDC, the percentage of adults over 65 who have a disability. Do not ignore them in your marketing efforts, my friends. Trish, are you ready for round 3? It's called Guess That Stat.
Okay, I'm more nervous about this one than the others.
What percent of homepages have web content accessibility guideline errors? Is it 85% of homepages, 97% of homepages, or 100%? Trish, what is the correct stat?
I want to say have errors, 97%.
Ding, 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 ding. Trish, you are correct. In fact, the exact stat is 96.8%. But that is the number of percentage of homepages that have these accessibility errors. Can you believe it's that much?
I sadly can, and I feel like the 3% are people talking about accessibility.
Yeah. In 2022, what dollar amount of design spending in the US will shift to those vendors and services companies that commit to accessibility? Is it $1 billion, $7 billion, or $10 billion?
What amount does
How much
I want
money
it to
is
be
going
more.
to them?
I want it to be more, but I feel like it's 1 billion.
Well, I'm happy to say you're wrong, Trish. It is $10 billion that is going to vendors, tech vendors, and services companies that commit to accessibility. According to a Forrester blog, Digital Accessibility, How $10 billion in design spending will soon be up for grabs annually from June of 2021. Got to get that attribution right. Isn't that encouraging? $10 billion up for grabs.
That is amazing. I hope everyone takes advantage of that because that is truly incredible.
My friends, thank you for playing Who Wants to Be an Accessibility Champion. You too can become an accessibility champion with the help of the team at Perkins Access. Visit perkinsaccess.org, follow them on Twitter at Perkins_access, or email them at access@perkins.org.
Clear videography.